My name is Mandy England, and I'm asking some questions today on behalf of the Government of Alberta. Sir, you mentioned in your response to Council for the Government of Canada that some tow truck operators were reluctant due to liability issues to engage in the towing, and so the Emergencies Act was helpful in that respect. Was that correct?
That's correct.
And so would it be fair to say that there were tow truck drivers who were willing to do it? They would not have needed to be compelled to do it, but they just wanted that additional reassurance about liability?
Yes, that's fair.
Okay. Isn't it true that there are also provisions under the Ontario Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act that protect individuals who are acting in good faith and performing an order under that act from an action against them for liability in performing that duty?
I do believe so, yes.
And is it true that there's provisions under that act that provide a way for anyone whose property is damaged where an order under the act is being carried out to seek compensation from the province itself rather than from an individual like a tow truck operator who's carrying out the order?
Well, I'll be honest, now you're getting into weeds of it that I'd have to say I need to look at it to see what it provided, but I was looking at it and I focused mostly on the enforcement powers that it gave us.
If what I had just said was true, that there was a mechanism for that individual to have sought compensation, would you agree that between those two items, that if there was an order under the Ontario Act authorizing the tow truck drivers to provide those towing services, that those operators would be protected in the same way by the Ontario Act?
I'm not sure, because I know we had some difficulties with our earlier planning where we had a robust toll plan in place and it all fell apart because of the indemnity issue and the length of time for that indemnity, that the operators just felt that given the nature of the protests, the fear of reprisal, that they needed an extended period of an indemnity that we just couldn't provide. So okay. I left the tow issue to our tow experts, but I'd have to look at the legislation and maybe even consult the lawyer looking at the legislation as to how far and how deep the indemnity of either the EMCPA or the EA provided.
That's fair. If the provisions were the same or substantially similar, though, would you agree that the Ontario legislation would have been equally helpful then in providing the assurances to tow truck operators?
If you're telling me that, then I would say it would be.
Thank you very much. Those are my questions for you today. Thank you.